back to She Smokes Too at PCA. I am here with Teresa from Georgetown Cigars. Welcome to She Smokes Too. Thanks for coming on. If you give us a little backstory on how you found yourself in this interesting industry.
So Georgetown Tobacco is right in Washington, D.C., and I was actually in college and waiting tables during the cigar boom. And the owner of Georgetown Tobacco, David Berkebile, was a regular customer in the restaurant that I was working in. And we had a kind of a funny conversation one day. He heard me speaking German. He knows how to say two things in German. One is, how is the weather today? The other one I won't repeat. But it really started just a good rapport between he and I. And so I wasn't really making much money waiting tables during the day. I'd already bought my first cigar at Georgetown Tobacco. And he said, why don't you come work for me? And I just absolutely fell in love with the industry. Of course,
it really sucks you in.
It was a very exciting time. Yeah, 1996.
Oh, wow.
Was when I started.
Okay, so you've been in the industry a
really
long
exciting time to be part of it.
That's awesome. Very nice. Very nice. And you recently, you're like the co-founder of Women at PCA, or tell us a little bit about how that came to fruition.
A year ago, I was elected onto the PCA board, for which I'm really grateful. And one of the women who is already serving on the board is Kathleen Kelly from Queensberry Cigar in upstate New York. And she and I were talking together. We actually had a group of women come together at the PCA Townhouse in DC. And she, the year before at the trade show, had really had a great moment connecting with some women here at the show. And I had left Georgetown Tobacco and had more of a corporate career where I was actually a national chair of a women's organization in my company. So in talking, I know there have been other women's groups in the past associated with PCA, but really be able to bring some structure and some format to create a foundation for something that's truly going to last.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So you guys started this last year.
So last year it was solely word of mouth. We had a happy hour gathering. Boveda was a great sponsor. And we had a happy hour gathering here at the show. We had over 40 women show up with literally no marketing, just word of mouth here at the show. So this year we're in the PCA magazine. We've brought it to the PCA board, so the entire board is supportive of Women of PCA as a business resource group within PCA. And so we're really excited to see the growth, and our happy hour tomorrow I think is going to look very different from what it looked like a year ago.
And is it more like kind of retailer focused or like manufacturer?
Anyone in the industry, whether you're a manufacturer, brand owner, industry partner, or retailer. There's a lot of opportunity to connect women, as you know, working in the industry. And we all bring a different perspective, a different background, and how we can network and support one another.
Definitely. And are you thinking of expanding this beyond just meeting at PCA, doing some like stuff throughout the year, or like digital aspects?
100%. So we actually have a membership committee, and we have an events committee. And one of the things I know, and one of the first things we did out of the gate was create 6 leadership positions for women working in the industry. So we have committee co-chairs heading up both of those. And we're looking at things like, for example, coming to Tampa and having a gathering for women working in the industry in Tampa, being able to see the museum with J.C. Newman.
Our factory.
It would be a great opportunity.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And digitally certainly is how we can connect throughout the year.
Stay in touch, share best practices, what's going on. That's great.
Yeah, and additionally we can do things like mentorship programs if there's a new rep in the industry, for example. There are certainly many women who've been working in the industry for years that want to share their experience and their knowledge. Or somebody who's new to retail, a new PCA member. How do you navigate the show? What do I do when I have this circumstance come up in my store? We know that women are there to support each other.
That's great. A lot of synergies between what we're trying to do and what you guys are doing, and bringing women in. That's awesome. We always like to ask our guests for their first cigar story. Do you remember your first cigar?
My first cigar was, I do. It was the cigar boom again, and I was working at a restaurant right next door to Georgetown Tobacco. I had no idea at the time the store was actually a world-renowned tobacconist. But I went in, and I'm a little mad because, in retrospect, my first cigar was Davidoff Ambassadrice. Tiny. I'm like, why did that have to be? Again, having more women in the industry, your first cigar does not need to be a little smaller than a petite Panatella, but that was my first cigar, and I enjoyed what really, as I think for so many of us, the camaraderie that you experience, that ability to just stop what you're doing, take a moment, cut, light,
Yes.
sit, relax.
Decompress. Yep.
Yeah, it's changed my life.
That's awesome. Do you guys do a lot of pairings at Georgetown? I feel like that's always a hit with women.
We're not a lounge. So in our store,
Okay.
so the store is a retail store only. So
Okay.
we don't really talk about pairings so much.
Stuff like that. Yeah. We like to do a lot of that in She Smokes too, just because it's fun.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, it's really fun.
Of course. I'm a
Yeah.
big firm believer, though. If you like what you drink and you like what you smoke, they're gonna go.
They're gonna.
great
That's what I
together.
was saying too. I was like, we do pairings, so it's usually like, okay, I love this wine and I love this cigar, and so I know they're gonna go. You know, I know I'm gonna like them both.
Right.
You know, and people go a lot more into the detail of like tasting notes and all that stuff, but we just drink and smoke what we like for the most part.
It's very good.
If someone's interested in this Women's of PCA, how can they connect and find?
So
you guys?
so you can email us, womenofpca@pca.org. Or certainly if people are here at the show, tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the PCA Lounge is our networking happy hour.
Yep.
And there we're also going to talk too, one of the other big advantages that we think creating Women of PCA is going to bring to the industry is on our advocacy efforts. And so as we talk about the FDA appeal, as you talk about any particular state, local regulation or taxation, being able to mobilize the women working in the industry in those areys or federally is going to be huge for us.
Yeah.
So that all ties back to cigaraction.org from the Premium Cigar Association. So we're going to be talking about all of those things tomorrow at the happy hour.
I love that. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's really an amazing opportunity, and everybody seems really excited about it. So we're excited to get it off the ground.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's really great.
Thank you guys for tuning in again, and we'll see you